Aloha Long Beach. Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Tyler.
And Mike, and this high school football video is brought to you by the fine folks at Naples Rib Company.
The picturesque views of the Big Island of Hawaii, Mike. Long Beach Poly on the road taking on Konawaena in the 2023 season opener. Couldn't ask for a more beautiful setting for this.
No, definitely not. And, some stadiums you go to sell Chick-fil-A and some just have the actual cows.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. So I loved seeing that. And easy to feel like you're on vacation at a place like this. It's so beautiful. But it is a business trip for Poly. And the Jackrabbits were fired up pregame, as you'd expect for any season opener. And they love to bring the east side on the road, for sure.
For sure. And it was cool because you could see that the Konawaena fans really enjoyed it as well. And then here come the Wildcats. They're going to play with a ton of pride, as all Hawaiian teams do. They're the defending D1 state champs, but also a scary time here in Hawaii with the devastating fires on Maui, obviously. And for the Wildcats, you've got senior quarterback Keoki Alani. He led them to that 11-1 record and the D1 state title last year.
Poly also with a pretty elite quarterback, Colorado State commit Darius Curry, and a homecoming game for senior Jordan Mala'ulu. He was actually born in Hilo, so a very special game for him. And got to shout out our guy, Joshua Kaysen. Noodles has kind of been the heart and soul of this team on both sides of the ball.
For sure. Before this game kicked off, both teams circling up for a moment of silence and a tribute to the victims on Maui. For head coach Stephen Barbie, he said, "These trips are about more than just football. This is about making sure your team has a chance to learn about life. No better place to do that and to learn about community, sacrifice, and generosity than right here on the Big Island of Hawaii."
Yeah, and the hospitality was amazing here in Kona the whole time, and the island rain made it a little sloppy, though, for Poly's first drive of the night for the football game. But once the rain stops, you can let the top down, or take the top off the defense, rather, as Curry goes deep to sophomore Kamari Smith.
We're going to see a lot of those connections this year. Then when you're on the Big Island, you got to try the noodles, Tyler. I've heard the noodles here are great.
Elite. Some of the best around, I would say. A great start for as Kaysen gets into the end zone. We will see more of Noodles. It's 7-0 Jackrabbits.
Konawaena came to play, though. Alani is going to find Carmine Fautanu Tetuna at the doorstep, and the Wildcats are in business. They did not come to just play against a big mainland team. They wanted to come and beat a big mainland team. And on the next play, Alani keeps it himself to punch it in, and the Wildcats answer right back. Whole community loving that over there. Huge turnout. Everyone's been telling us all week that everyone in Kona is coming to the game, and that's what it felt like. They cut that Poly lead to 7-6.
And we may have had a lovely and serene backdrop that you can see, but these teams were hitting. Great catch over the middle by Mala'ulu to move the chains. But the Jackrabbits going to turn it over on the bad snap. Kiawe Navasloa comes in with the recovery, and the Wildcats have the ball back, trying to go back to work with the offense. Ensuing drive. Look at this catch by Abraham Ogata. You got to be kidding me, Mike.
These guys were making plays all over the field, though. You could tell, like I said, they were here to win it. Alani continued to spread it around. He finds Arminio Blanco in the end zone. He was wide open for the score right there. Cats take the lead. It's 13-7.
Yeah, so Poly just definitely knocked on their heels a little bit at that point, looking for a spark, and Ezekiel Orozco would deliver. Great catch along the sideline. The foot was in. We did check the video closely as Orozco was able to get those chains moving. But things were just a tad off for Poly at that point, as Smith can't quite follow the bouncing ball. That would have been an incredible catch.
Yeah, everything just a little bit out of sync. Need a play. Sophomore Toa Tamasoa stepping up with a huge play for D-Block. He had a pair of sacks on this drive when they really needed someone to step up and take command.
But the Konawaena passing game was on point as Ogata delivers another highlight reel catch along the sidelines. Uno out there doing his thing. Then the Alani-Ogata connection fires up again for the score. That is 21 unanswered points for the home team, and they are feeling themselves at this point. It's 21-7, 6:17 till the break.
People going crazy in the stands. It was a real scene, but Jackrabbits had an immediate answer. We've lived in SoCal our entire life, and we've never seen the 5 move that fast.
No, definitely not. It's usually all jammed up, but Kamari Smith to the house. A total spark plug for the Jackrabbits. It's now 21-13 halfway through the second quarter, and Poly just never lost that momentum, Mike. Mikey Young makes a big hit on the ensuing kickoff. He did that a couple times tonight, and the Poly sideline just had so much energy at this point.
You could feel that energy flipping at this point in the game, and then the defense steps up to make a play like you knew they would. Troy Tomasoa zeroes in on the quarterback, knocks it out. and it's number 30, Luke Sefe, who comes out of the pile with it for the turnover for the Jackrabbits. And like I said, you could feel things building to a big play by that defense.
Special teams made a play, defense made a play, now the offense has to come next. And I know it's game one, but we have an early candidate for hardest run of the year. Noodles refusing to go down. Eventually the play was whistled dead, but Noodles still on his 2 feet. Noodles on his chopsticks, maybe?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Then Curry's going to hit Malaulu for the quick slant for the homecoming touchdown. Jackrabbits with all the momentum now. It's 21-19, and you could feel things flipping in their favor. They're still down by 2, but it felt like that wave was coming for Poly.
Yeah, and on the next Poly drive, Curry back to work, hits Malaulu for the nice gain as he's rudely shoved out of bounds there. Then Curry going to buy some time, roll out, and look deep for Orozco, who makes a great play coming back to the ball.
There's no instant replay in high school football. No big deal.
No. It was a catch. We're playing on. Then Luke Buggs with the grab. He's going to take it down inside the 10. That last name holds a lot of weight on these islands, don't you know? And finally, the drive is going to be capped off with a short touchdown toss to Orozco as the Jackrabbits take the lead back. And the machine was just in full force at this point. But we had a really good football game going, Mike. We're glad to see that. And on the 2-point conversion, Curry's going to have to get a little creative.
He shows off the wheels. He's going to, with the hezzy hey right there, and then scoot in to score right in front of that beautiful sunset. It's 27-21 Poly, 2 minutes and 43 seconds left until halftime. But the Wildcats offense had been tough for them to contain, and they had to come up with another stop here.
Yeah, and it's going to be Austin Takaki with a great catch, and he's going to turn and run for the end zone, but shout out to freshman Dante Wright Jr., who tracks him down and saves the touchdown. A great angle there for the 9th grader, and that was a meaningful tackle, Mike. We have the clips to prove it.
Yes, this defense loves a goal line stand at Poly. Tamasoa with the tackle for a loss right there, and then Elijah Pooley with a nice tackle to set up a 4th and goal for the Wildcats. And the Jackrabbits needed this stop in order to kind of cement that they were back in control of this game, Tyler.
Right, because a Wildcats touchdown and extra point, they're back in front at the break. Final minute of the half. This pass is going to sail incomplete. So a great stop by Poly. They retain that 6-point lead. It's 27-21 going into halftime. And after halftime, it was all Poly, as immediately in the second half, we have order up. It's Noodles to go. And he knows by now, if you pick it, you better six it.
Second score of the day, and Poly's got its biggest lead, 33-21. Lucky number 7, feeling pretty lucky right now for the Jackrabbits. D-Block in full lockdown mode in the second half, flying to the football and dominating this game. You saw the Jackrabbits really pin their ears back and come after it.
Yeah, Alani having to scramble and buy time, and the big plays just weren't there for the Wildcats after halftime the way they were earlier in the game. Then on 4th down, freshman Julius Johnson right there in coverage. Young Rabbits were out here balling in this one, Mike. Fun to see what 21's going to do in his career. He looks like a player for sure.
Goes by Juju. He's going to have to earn that one, but he's on his way. Curry back to work, finding Orozco wide open for the big gain.
And if you missed it the first time, we'll show you the same route again. This time he'll go for 6, and Poly is cooking right now. Second tub for Orozco. Nice game for Curry, by the way. 18 of 29 for 266 and 3 touchdowns. And then on the next drive, Kamari Shemwell collects the deflection, and he's going to take it for 6. Jackrabbits going dummy right now. I mean, Vinny's going to have to run for cover at this point. It is way too hype on that sideline, Mike.
It's something about that 8 ball. When you see a Poly defensive back wearing that, you know he's raw, and Shemwell definitely earned it. On the ensuing kickoff, that ball isn't going out of bounds. Who's going to get it? It's Poley for Poly. That's why we don't assume, Tyler. You make an ass out of you and me. The longest onside kick we've ever seen. Poly gets the ball on the 3, and Noodles is going to punch that one in for his 3rd score of the night, 2nd on the ground. Poly officially has gotten the 50-piece from McDonald's. It's 54-21.
Yeah, and I would say they're probably loving it as well. D-Block not letting their foot off their necks. Corey Hudson
with an E
delivers a perfect tackle in space. And then it's Shemwell again. Punishment boys out here getting it. 60 yards to the crib to make it 60 for the Jackrabbits. They just dominated after halftime. Mike, it was 33-0 in the 3rd with 3 pick sixes. Unreal.
They scored 53 unanswered points to win it 60-28. Another bow for Shemwell. That kid is a player, but a great show of sportsmanship after the game. The two teams coming together spontaneously, not a staged thing, to just kind of congratulate each other. A really cool experience for both sides, and we'd love to see more games like this. This was a special week in Hawaii.
And we have an entire football season waiting for us back home in Long Beach. Obviously, if you want all the coverage the rest of the way, you got to stay tuned right here to the 562.org.